Is it wrong to fall in love with your childhood friend? No, but it's gonna get really sloppy. Ayo guys, are you tired of the same old high school rom-com tropes? You know the type, the unpopular dude, the prestigious out of his girl, and a confession at a high school festival. Raise of hand if you guys have seen this 100 times by now. And hey, there's nothing wrong with that because I still watch them, there's no shame, but sometimes you want a little bit more spice. What about something a little bit more mature like an office romance, but sometimes it could be a little too vanilla? Prove me wrong down in the comments.
That's sexual harassment.
How about a college romance? No, not this one, but how about we mix in a childhood friend who's basically your pseudo sibling and then add a little bit more spice to it, and yeah, that's the good stuff. Today we will be talking about a series that gave me by the end of it emotional whiplash with that crazy ending and also made me question if webtoons might be better than manga, Childhood Friend Complex. So there I was on my usual manga grind, Dandadan, Chainsaw Man, One Piece, you know, the essentials. I also read a lot of romance series, but you know, they just weren't scratching that itch. Then my friend hit me with, "You've never read a webtoon?" Like I just committed a federal crime, because I know that I'm really late on this. I know I'm not the first manga guy to make a webtoon video, but here I am now. So she hit me with two recommendations, Solo Leveling of course, yes I'll get to it eventually, and Childhood Friend Complex, and well, you read the title, I've already said it, you know which one I picked, and I swear that I will get to Solo Leveling one day. But enough with that series because everybody and their mamas is talking about it. Let's get into this. Childhood Friend Complex isn't a groundbreaking story in concept, but it is a spicy, chaotic college romance starring Hanol and Minchol, two childhood besties who have been joined at the hip since birth. Literally, their moms met at pregnant school to get ready to have kids, and also, you know, the Korean birth rate is really low. And now they're in college, still acting like siblings, still bickering at each other, and suddenly realizing, wait, when did you get so hot? Hanol is this expressive, very silly girl with zero chill, and look at these expressions, she is adorable. Mitchell looks like he just walked off a K-pop stage with full-on delinquent energy.
Welcome to the tennis world.
The ladies will simp, and the Joel bros will too. He's got this Dio Brando look to him. He's just not a complete asshole like him, I swear. And naturally, everyone thinks that they're dating, but to Hanol, this is a huge problem. She just wants a boyfriend who isn't Minchol. And then there's Minchol just accidentally scaring off every dude who gets within 10 feet of her. And because of this, she has zero romantic experience. The homegirl's a college version, and she's done with it. Now here's where things go from just ordinary to oh my god. Childhood Friend Complex isn't your average manga slow burn. This thing leaps straight into a friends with benefits territory, and yes, they have sex. This is an adult webtoon. You are warned by the 18+ warning at the start of it. Softcore though, don't panic, just maybe don't read this at church, especially not at a Starbucks. However, I was really thrown off by this in the first chapter because it starts a little rough because I was not expecting this story to play out this way. It is literally revealed at the start of the chapter that Hanol has this dream, and I don't even know if you can call it a dream, but it's to have a passionate kiss with the boy that she likes during, you know, being intimate. I don't know why I'm being so formal during an adult webtoon, but during sex. And how does she get this dream? She gets inspired after watching, let's keep it PG, educational material with her friends. And she's not even good at hiding it because look at her face, look at this shame. You are a dirty little girl, Hanol. But no shame, I'm not shaming you. And then boom, the chapter ends with a bang and completely hooks me in because she walks in on Minchol and let's keep it PG again, examining his mushroom. And this is embarrassing, however, this happens, right? Every boy does it, eventually you will get caught doing it, and if you haven't, you're very lucky, and if you say that you don't do this, you're just a fat liar. But what makes this worse is that he's also watching educational material, but he also has Hanol's profile pic on the monitor. I would have ascended from embarrassment. This leads to things getting even more embarrassing since she eventually wants to square things out with her closest friend, and she chases him throughout campus, and one thing leads to another awkward situation where she suffocates him with her very impressive goods. And you could call it even right there, right? Wrong, because this is only the beginning and these two idiots are just now noticing that yes, he is man and she is woman. All this wraps up by bringing us back to a memory from their childhood where they're in high school where everyone keeps bugging them over over, how is it that they're both not dating yet and both basically going, ew, I'd rather chop my dick off? And I know that Minchul is really regretting that he said that because he is now realizing, like I said, how impressive Hanul has gotten. And yes, for the most part, this plays out exactly how you think most childhood friends to lover series goes. The typical will they won't they's, them bickering at each other like an old married couple as others just question why they aren't dating just yet, which leads to the refusal of acknowledgement that they are the opposite sex. And will eventually take hundreds of chapters before anything remotely romantic develops. If this was a manga, of course. Here, however, in a webtoon, you scroll and suddenly bam, it's going down. No 200 chapters of build-up, just action, and I'm talking action. And I swear that this isn't smut. This is a pretty realistic portrayal of college students that are just victim to their desires. And in 40 chapters, there's more story than just that action that I'm talking about, but their author does reward us throughout, so there isn't too much drought of, the good stuff. And I've already read all this, and I have read another webtoon that seemed very popular, and let me just say, it wasn't my jam completely. It was too much action, if you know what I'm talking about. But here it is on screen if you guys are interested. Here, they do it pretty tastefully, but it's still a little exaggerative at moments. And I really like how CFC skips the typical rom-com hesitations, or I'm not sure if this sounds right because anime and manga is just full of fan service, but the innocence in manga of not showing any mature romantic developments. But here they just go for it. It makes his story feel so much more alive. These are college students, of course. They are coming of age where you're just young, dumb, and full of cum. Of course, culture differences from Japan to Korea, but as a Westerner, this really falls in line with our media and entertainment, and I appreciate it.
Every country in the world belongs to America.
But not to sound like a damn pervert, because the story is actually really engaging here because Minchul clearly likes Hano, at least I could tell early on. But she's too busy trying to go on dates, finding her feelings for him, and accidentally starting a love triangle with the other hottest guy on campus, which is going to drive me insane. Hano is finally thriving. She is going through her popular phase as she has both the hottest guys on campus cheesing over her. And I kind of want to use this and transition over to talking about the art, and I do want to say that the girls will love this series because yes, the guys are drawn hot. But not only the guys, everyone looks good here. Hanul is such a little cutie, the drip check is strong, and shout out to the streetwear brand censoring too. It's really funny seeing big brand names have to be changed because obviously copyrights. Stupid ass copyrights. And the webtoon format, super refreshing. The vertical scroll, the color panels, the flow, it is a smooth ride. This is going to help me avoid any manga fatigue. Not that I have any, but I think manga should really pick up on this. I mean, we do have Shonen Plus only web-based available manga, so that'd be a good place to start. I know it's extra work and not fair to, traditional manga readers, but I think this is a really good experience that everyone should check out. And I know some webtoon fans must think it's funny, oh, the manga guy just discovered scrolling, and yes, it's so good. Why has no one ever done this yet in manga? But back to childhood friend complex, and what makes this work is that our leads are just idiots, but lovable idiots. They're always fighting each other, teasing each other, denying feelings, and then they act like complete morons most of the time. It kind of reminds me of Kaguya-sama Love is War, except these two aren't geniuses. They have no brain cells, and then you mix in sex into the formula, and that makes you have negative brain cells. However, you just love the wholesome moments because Minchul is the classic delinquent outside but softy on the inside kind of guy. He is so protective over Hanul, and it's obvious that he's been down bad for years. He eventually protects her honor from these asshole guys, and finally it gets noticed by Hanul. And then this idiot finally realizes that yes, she in fact does love this guy that she has been hating on this whole time. Of course, the conflict here is obvious that they are afraid of ruining their 20-year-old friendship by becoming an official couple, yet things get sloppy, and then it gets very sloppy quickly. We do get hints and teases that there's this dark past between Hanul and Minchul, as shown by Minchul having these recurring nightmares, and unfortunately for us, we don't get to find out what this dark secret is just yet. And let me tell you, it better be a legit fucking excuse as to why Minchul, who is clearly in love since the beginning of the story, will not entertain the possibility of dating Hanul. It's like he feels that he doesn't deserve it, he's this awful person, which seems so far from the truth because we see these very nice touching moments where he's so soft with Hanul, she's a delicate flower, so intimate, he's very respectful with her. These super wholesome moments that I live for. I swear if they reveal it and it's just not that serious, I will pull my hair out. Please don't do this to me, Eunhee, the author. Unfortunately, I didn't know that these series release in parts, so I have the great opportunity of catching up and now having the sad truth of that I have to wait for part 2. So yes, this series has spice, comedy, emotional tension, and 2 big dumb idiots in denial. Chapters do have a lot of content because they are pretty long considering how long you have to scroll down, unless it's those really spicy chapters and suddenly you're finishing quicker than Min Chol. I'm telling you that this romance has it all, it checks all the marks. And we still have so much drama to unravel, and we just wrapped up part 1 and the cliffhanger is wild, and I am begging for a part 2. And the skins that I already have these warnings of the potential of this webtoon getting cancelled if not a lot of people read it has me terrified, and why I made this video to begin with, to share this story with everybody. So please read it! And if you made it this far into the video, please do drop a like, that would help me out so much and would help this series get more eyes on it. And while you're at it, why not subscribe if you want to see me lose my mind over more chaotic romances? And if you got any more manhwa, webtoon, manga recs that are this spicy, please hit me up in the comments. And please guys, nothing like hentai. I did read this next webtoon and I just felt like it was too much action. I want some plot just like in Childhood Friend Complex. And also, is there any manga that takes it to the next level like this that isn't just completely hentai? But that's it for me, and I hope to catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching, I appreciate you. I'm afraid to say it, but is this incest with extra steps?